Brother Nashi, how are you? Please share my story so that no married woman ever thinks that cheating back is the solution to a broken heart. It was in the year 2022. Mind you, I have changed the years when these things happened because I am scared that someone might suspect that it is me. So I'll say that it was in 2022. I was a 34-year-old wife living in a beautiful home in Midrand. My husband, he was a successful corporate executive, but the problem was that my husband was a big cheater. He had done it several times. He had cheated even with some of my cousins that I do not even see eye to eye to this very day. If you have never seen your man pulling out his manhood out of your cousin sister after you would have caught them, you do not know what pain is like, and at the same time you are pregnant when it would have happened. My husband was cheating on me openly. I would find receipts. These were receipts of him. Maybe he would have gone to an expensive hotel and maybe he would have forgotten the receipt. And I would find a receipt of a lodge that he would have booked at a lodge, hotel bookings and messages from younger women like he was saying that he was a blessing. I was shattered so many times. I once turned to God and I said, God, please help me. But when you go to church with other intentions, not only to pray, because I went there and I wanted a quick solution. My friends, God is not like a magician that you go there and all of your problems, they will vanish. People that say that I went to church and nothing happened, it was because you went there looking for a quick solution. God wants you to submit yourself to Him. Instead of me to keep on turning to God like I had thought of doing, I then thought of going for therapy, but I saw that it did not even work at all. Since it did not even work, I said, let me deal with this on my own. So, Brother Nashi, that was when I thought of joining dating applications. I thought of cheating. I tend to anger rather than submitting to God so that He can tell me what to do. I wanted my husband to feel the pain that I had felt. I wanted to show him that I was still desirable and that I could also play the game. That was when I downloaded Tinder. I created a profile that did not show my face clearly, just my body, my beautiful body. I was not looking for love because I even had my cleavage out, showing people that I was up for hookups. I was looking for someone that could heal me. Within 2 days, I matched with a man. His profile, it said that he was a Nigerian who was staying in Johannesburg. I said the Nigerian might be better because if he was South African, maybe you would want to sleep with me for nothing. I want to make money while least I am with this guy. So we started to talk and he told me that he wanted us to meet, but he was always busy. So we started to sex chat on WhatsApp, doing video calls, and it was so pleasing. I even felt like he had healed my broken heart. And then he told me that he wanted us to meet at a guest house that he had already booked in East Rand. And I said, okay, it's fine. I told my husband that I was going to a girls' night out. And when my husband had left, because I told him that my friends were going to come and get me, and one of my friend, she knew that I was cheating on my husband. So she came, she picked me up, but we did not go anywhere. And then she took me to the lodge and she was like, are you sure about this? And I said, yeah, I just want to heal my heart. She said, okay, it's fine. If anything happens, just call me. When I arrived at the guest house, he was already waiting for me, and he was an older Nigerian. And then we ate, we had a romantic dinner. It was so amazing when we were in the restaurant and we were kissing and touching. I could not get enough of him. I just wanted him to drag me to the room and for me to make love to him because I had not been given proper love in a very long time. But I think that this guy, he put something like he dragged me because When he offered me wine after I had gone to the bathroom, when I returned back, he poured in some wine, but I saw that there was a little bit of foam that was on top of the wine, and I just drank it because already I was feeling a little bit tipsy. So I did not even mind, and we continued drinking and we continued talking, kissing, and touching. It was just amazing. And when I would say, come on, let us go to the room, I am already feeling you, I want us to go, he will be like, let's wait, let's wait. And when I started to feel a little bit dizzy, that was when he told me that he wanted us to go to the room. It was as if he was waiting for the drug that he had put in my system to start working. Because when I told him that I was feeling dizzy, that was when he said, okay, that's it. Let us go to the room. We then went to the room. I really do not know how we walked from the place where the restaurant was going to the place where the guest house was. It was not very far from the restaurant, but I was feeling dizzy. I could not remember where I was, and I was getting a lot of hot flashes. When we finally arrived in the room, that was when he made me to sleep on the bed, and he told me that he was going into the bathroom and he came back. When he came back, Brother Nashim, he was wearing a red garment. And I said, what are you wearing? And he told me that he wanted me to assist him with a ritual that he wanted to perform. He started talking in a language that I could not understand. And then he came on top of me. He was very violent with me. The way that he slept with me, it was so painful. And after he had finished sleeping with me, I started to bleed. I went on my period, same time. By then, I was feeling a little bit of strength that had returned back to me. But somehow, I just felt dizzy, and he continued to touch me. And whenever he would touch me, I would feel like I want to vomit. I felt that there was something that was moving underneath the bed. I don't know if it was a snake or if it was a human being, but whatever that was moving underneath the bed is the one that was making me to feel dizzy. There were times when I was unable to breathe, and then that was when he woke up and he went outside. When he came back, I saw that he was holding a clay pot. He placed that clay pot right next to me. By then, I was totally paralyzed. I was unable to move anything apart from my eyes. And then he put his hand inside the clay pot, and I felt that there was something that was screaming from inside of the clay pot, and there was smoke that started to come out. And then when he pulled out his hand from the clay pot, he was holding an egg, and he told me to open my legs. I opened up my legs and I was bleeding. Then he started to push that egg slowly and slowly into my private part. He was pushing it slowly and slowly into my private part, and it was very painful. He kept on whispering as he was playing with my chest area, telling me that I was going to enjoy. Then he removed that egg, and when he was removing this egg from inside of me, I felt as if he was performing an operation on me. The pain that I felt, it was just too much. Because of the pain that I was feeling, then I just collapsed. When I woke up because I felt that there was someone that was playing with my private part. By then, I thought that maybe I was having a dream. When I woke up, he had my legs in the air, and he was in between my legs. He was not making love to me, but he was holding a jar. It was a glass bottle that he was holding, and then he took out a worm and he placed it on my private part. It entered into my private part, and then he kissed me, and I fell asleep, like I just collapsed. And when I woke up, it was because there was someone who was knocking on the door, and they were telling me and reminding me that I was supposed to check out because it was somewhere around 11 a.m. When I woke up, this Nigerian man, he was gone. Right next to me, I saw that there was money, which was 800 rands. That was the money that he left for me for spending a night with me. I collected the cash after I had bathed, and then I Ubered and I returned back home. I found my husband, he was at home, and I pretended as if I was drunk. My friend, she had lied to my husband that I was with him. My husband, I saw that the way that he greeted me, I'm pretty sure that he had brought a girlfriend into the house, because when I entered into the bedroom, it was too clean. It was super clean, and I knew that my husband had been sleeping with another woman whilst I was with another man at the lodge. I started crying because I took another bath when I returned back home. I felt that there was something that was moving in my womb. I went to the hospital and I told them that there was something that I felt that was inside of my womb. And then the doctor told me, I have forgotten the name, but that doctor, she said that I had a false pregnancy and she was going to give me a pill so that the thing can be flushed out of my womb, and this was going to be like a forced miscarriage. I drank the pill. Already I was bleeding, and when I finished bleeding, the day when I finished bleeding, I saw some white tissue that was on the maternity pad that I was wearing since I was bleeding quite a lot. And this white tissue that I saw, I really do not know what it was. And I started to feel a sensation every night as if there was someone that was sleeping with me, whether my husband was around or was not around. This started to bother me quite a lot. I could not understand what was happening. I could not tell my husband that I felt as if there was someone that was sleeping with me every night, because my husband, I would have to tell him that I had cheated on him with a Nigerian man that I met on Tinder. I started to have a dream. This was a month after I had slept with that Nigerian guy. I had a dream and I was pregnant. And this pregnancy, it started growing. In 9 days, it was as if 9 months had passed, because on the first day, I saw that I was pregnant. The second day, I saw that my tummy, it was hard, and there was a man that was touching my tummy, testing to see if my tummy was hard. And then the second, the third, the fourth night, I had a big belly, like I was really pregnant, and it kept on happening for 9 days, and I gave birth on the ninth day. Just after I had given birth on the ninth day in my dream, my husband woke me up. He was shaking me, and I said, "What's wrong?" At first, he thought that I had urinated in bed, and I said, "How? I did not urinate in bed." And then he said, "It is wet all over." And then I touched between my legs, and I saw that it was really wet. Woke up, took my phone, and there was blood everywhere. There was blood that was just dripping and dripping and dripping, as if I had recently given birth. And in my dreams, I had given birth. I could not tell my husband. My husband, he felt sorry for me. He thought that I had fallen pregnant and I had another miscarriage. And then the next day, we went to a gyno, and she just gave me pills, and she told me that maybe I had a pregnant again, and she prescribed antibiotics. And then that was when the dream stopped. I never had a dream again. Brother Nashim, I then went to a pastor and I got prayed for by that pastor, even though I did not tell the pastor what happened, me being on Tinder and me meeting up with a Nigerian guy. I did not tell the pastor, but the pastor just told me that it did not matter what had happened in my life. He was going to pray for me and for God to forgive me. The pastor prayed for me and I felt a lot better. And ever since that day, I have been going to church. because I know the things that I witnessed, they are not from this world. I met a ritualist, and that one, I'm very sure. Me coming to you, it is because I had never told anyone this story, and I always wanted to share my story with someone, and I'm so happy that I have found someone that I can share this story with. I am a devout Christian. My marriage survived. My husband does not even know that this happened. It is a secret that I will probably carry to the grave so that no one from my circle will ever know that this is what happened. I just want to know that if you are a cheating type, if you are planning to cheat, maybe one day it is going to backfire. You can meet someone who is not a ritualist, but do you know that they are psychopath? A man that can be a psychopath can go on a dating application, and it will be easy for that person to pick up someone, and then you meet up at a lodge, and it is always these sketchy lodges that they will take you to, and you end up in the grave. Things like that, they are happening because if this man was a killer, just imagine if he was a killer, we met and then he would have killed me. I would have become a statistic to this day. So this is my confession. I sure hope that it is going to find someone who was in the process of going on a hookup with someone that they just met on that day, and then they are going to these sketchy lodges, and you never know, maybe that person is a killer and that person will end up killing you. When you post my story, you will tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. I'll be back with another episode.